Welcome back. Previously, excuse me, we talked a lot about Pixlr-E, how we're moving and adding to the Pixlr-X, which is the templates. We're now looking at the more detailed at the tools that are offered here with the editor. Really, you need to go back. If you've not watched the previous video, you need to go back and watch it. We discussed a lot about the menu options up here. We talked about layers and the importance to understand all that. If you have not watched that, it makes a lot more sense if you go back and watch that again. One thing I want to go over again also is saving your work. So when you go down here and click on save, and you want to make sure that you pay close attention. Give it a file name that you can find it or remember what it is. But the PXZ, that is the format that is proprietary to Pixlr, but allows you to go in and edit and make changes to your work. It keeps the layers separated. If you go in there and save it as a JPEG or PNG, it's going to glue those layers together and make it one image. And then when you want to go back in and change just that one layer, you're not going to be able to. So it does not hurt to save it as a PXZ, then go back and save it as a JPEG. But always save it as PXZ first. Now, from there, you can choose your quality. Just understand the higher the quality, the more data it uses. Right now, with your student account with in Google, your Google Drive is unlimited. So saving it at high is not a big issue. Later on, when you're doing things on your own, it may be an issue, or you may want to use a low image quality when you know that it's going to be relevant on bandwidth when people are trying to upload it or download it off the internet. Well, hopefully we can talk more about that later. Anyway, once you do all that, then you can download it. It'll then ask where you want to save your work. And then what I love about using these Chromebooks, it automatically goes to Google Drive. As I mentioned previously, make sure that you're saving your work in the classroom folder. In that folder, you can have another folder called photo editing. By organizing it like this, then your work stays together. And when you're trying to find other clips or you want to add to it, you know where those parts are. So I really encourage you, take the time, create those folders for me. Now, I'm going to cancel out of this. I want us to look closely here at this. So first, I need to import something to work with. So I'm going to go File, and I'm going to open Image. You could import. There's many different ways that this can be done. I'm going to go up here to Images, and I'm going to, I think I'll use Surfing 4. Now from here, let's start looking. Remember, this is your selector tool. This is how you can move things around, especially when you're working with layers. The other thing to understand is, yes, we're going to have these pop-up advertisements here and sometimes over here. Just ignore it. Understand what we're using. We're not having to pay for. This is how they make money. Next, we're looking here. Square Simple. This is where you can draw a square. This again is very relevant when we're working with a layer. Or if you're wanting to sit there and say, hey, I want to make where I'm just getting a square cut of the face. Now I could go in there and I might be able to do other things with it. Your lasso, again. Now this again, you can choose different shapes. Well, let me go back up here to our square. We have the same thing here. We can do new selection, we can add to selection, we can remove from selection. This is again really powerful that you pay attention to all the things you can do with each tool. So when we go in here to the lasso, again, we could sit there and lasso certain parts. Let me see if I can escape out of our square. The lasso allows you to give yourself a distinct shape. It may not be something that we're familiar with. It might be like you can see there. I can do Control X and it's gone. Control V and it's back. I may need to use my selector to put it back in place. Or maybe I want to offset it. So this again is some of the things that we can play with. And again, each tool has options up here that can really make a difference with what we're doing. Okay. Now, this is the one select. Now, again, mode. Am I doing a new selection? Am I adding to the selection or am I removing? Tolerance. These are different things that you need to pay attention to. Often with the one, I was able to remove colors. So if I said there's a certain color I want to take care of or remove, I could do so. Now this was back on the template. We may need to go back and play with that some more. There's more things we can do with this. We'll share that later. Crop. This is again a powerful tool. We've got a lot of options up here. Let's see what we can do here. I could maybe adjust and change. I really like how they put the grid in here. So you can see now what's the center of your focus. If I move my grid down here, now I've ruled out the dog altogether. It's no longer an important part. Vice versa. If I come in here and grab maybe this lower part, I can maybe make it where it's only going to be the dog's face that I want you to focus on. So this cropping tool is powerful again. I'll hit escape. Now, you can see since I cropped it and then clicked on the scissors, I cut out everything else. But with the scissors, if you notice, I have the magic mask, I have the draw mask, the lasso. I've got many of those other tools that I had earlier now part of the scissors or the cutout. So again, make sure you pay close attention to that and see how you can use this depending upon what you're trying to do. Liquefy. Grow, shrink different parts, push parts of the image. You can make subtle adjustments. So this is something, again, this is where zooming in can really help you. But sometimes you may need to go in there and make big changes just so that you can see it. Now, we'll go down and we'll look at some of the other tools, but some things I want us to look at. Over here at my layers, I've got two different layers. I can go in there and take things in and out by adjusting that. But also like down here in my history, I can go back and see the things that I've done. And maybe I realize, oh, I didn't want to crop that, or I didn't want to use the one there. What would happen if I go back and click on that? Oh, it's going to take me all the way back to that point. Now I might be able to make some more changes. So pay close attention to both of the tools over here. We've talked about it earlier, but also I can zoom in or out depending upon what I'm trying to work on. Heal. Remove spots, unwanted objects, or blemishes. This is a great opportunity. As you can see there in the diagram, it showed people out there on the beach, and maybe you want to take that one person out. I love doing that with group photos, being able to take a person out and make it to where it looked like nobody was there. This is a great tool that you can do that. And so I want you to work on that. That's going to be your assignment. I want you to, using these tools, and especially the heal tool, I want you to remove spots, clean up the image. Try to think of a good example. I'll let you be independent upon this one. However, let me emphasize, make sure it's school appropriate. You might take a picture of your family and you remove yourself, you erase yourself. You might take a a picture of a bunch of cats with a dog in it, and then you remove the dog. Think about how you could sit there and manipulate the image. Make sure that you're using open source images. Pixabay is a good source to get those from. I'm going to go there real quick. There's a lot of things in Pixabay that are available to use. Pixabay.com. These are open source. Let's say cats and dog. Now, what you do need to make sure you pay attention to, the images down here at the bottom are open source. They're available for you to use. However, the ones up here are not available. They're ones that are copyrighted. And so using these, you're going to get a watermark and you're infringing upon another person's work. So take the time, go through here. You may not like all the photos or any of the photos, but the photos will work. So you can easily take a photo and try to erase one of these images so that are part of this image. But all right, that's your assignment. Good luck. If you have questions, please let me know. Make sure you send me a screenshot with your work in Pixlr so that I can see what you're doing. And let's get that screenshot sent to me. Edutyping self-progress is due today. People, a lot of you are losing easy grades because you're not doing all of the assignments. Go through the hyperdoc, go through all of the assignment, not just part of it. Take care, respect the people around you, respect your family, wear your mask correctly.